The Zone at 91.3 presents The B-Side.
Dan Gunn, man.
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Good.
Hi, Dan. Hey, Jason. How you doing? I'm doing great.
So what's on the B-side, man?
We're going to talk about something I just found out about just yesterday, or 2 days ago. There's a new movie that's been made in Victoria called Somewhere to Go, Punk Victoria. And so I had no wind to this at all, but I found out Jason had some wind to this because he participated in an interview a number of years ago. But just on Saturday last week, Paulina Ortlieb put up this Facebook page about her movie that she's been working on for 5 years, all about the underground, well, not even underground, but the punk scene here in Victoria. And Lambo was one of her interview candidates. And now he's fretting on whether or not he will appear in this this hopefully epic piece.
Well, it was weird because you did contact me earlier this week asking me if I'd heard about this new documentary about punk in Victoria. I had no idea what you're talking about because it was so long ago. And then when you gave me the link, I'm like, oh, yeah, it was Paulina.
And dude, you're so in it, man. I guarantee you're in it.
Oh,
and you're like my new idol because there's nothing more I appreciate than a rock doc.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, that is my favorite viewing.
I'm really excited about what this is going to say about the city. Like, talk about B-side, right? Like, we're known for a lot of things. I promote a lot of different things about the city, but the punk scene, you know, that's another level of B-side that a lot of people don't know. But it makes sense, you know, in a community like there's going to be angst. You know, your white teenager with a pretty stable life develops some angst, and that is the fertile ground for punk rock, right?
Absolutely.
That's where it emerges from. Any experiences I had with punk growing up, it was always like, you know, I ran away for a weekend once. Really, it was about a girl, but you know, I ended up in a punk squat. Yeah. And that was, you know, I thought I was pretty into things when I was a skater, and then I ran across the punk scene. But the thing that I noticed as I was reading, so Paulina's got this great write-up on her Facebook page about what the movie's going to be about, and the do-it-yourself part, you know, the renegade part, the figuring out how to get it done, making do with whatever you got sort of attitude of punk, really ties into, I think, a lot of the attitude that we're seeing more in the mainstream in Victoria. So I think that's quite cool. So here's why it took so long, or here's why you didn't know. So Paulina started, she's just finished her master's at UVic. And for one of her courses, she decided to do a couple of documentaries, and she did interviews on the punk rock scene. Students loved them, faculty loved them. They encouraged her to make that her thesis. So her master's thesis became this movie, and so it took on a life of its own. And so now it's coming out. Reception's been really great. I mean, the Facebook page has been up since Saturday. I think I've seen it shared about 170 times already.
Oh, wow.
So it's already getting there. And so we don't know when it's going to premiere yet. That's the thing about an independent documentary film that, you know, somebody who's never made a movie before runs up against is how do you get it out there? So she's applied to the Victoria Film Festival and a couple other film festivals. So she should know about the premiere early in the new year. The earliest possible could be in November, depending on which festival maybe offers her a spot. But she's waiting, hoping a festival is going to give her a spot so that she can show this movie. The trailer looks really good, though.
It does. Looks great. Yeah.
Looks really good. A lot of captured archive footage of things going on in the city that I think a lot of people haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I obviously you could talk more on it than me, but I mean, it's very evident that there is still a really strong punk rock scene here in Victoria. Back in the 80s and 90s, it was extremely strong, but then there were also like punk rock luminaries that came out of that punk scene right here in Victoria.
Yeah.
And also punk rock legends that toured all the way up the West Coast, seemingly just to get to Victoria to play in a basement here from the Dayglow, owned by the Dayglow Abortions. You know, so it's just steeped in history, and it's important to have these films because we don't know a lot. I don't think enough people know how important Victoria is for a lot of these different exciting scenes over the years.
Yeah. Totally agree, and Lambo's been steeped in that scene himself growing up here.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't come into it right at the beginning, but when I was a teenager, I was going to all that stuff.
Why didn't you play in a punk band? That was something that I was thinking while I was watching the trailer. I was like, I can only imagine you at all these shows, but why didn't you just pick up a bass guitar and smash some 4 strings, boy?
Okay. I don't know. I never occurred to me to be in a band. I don't know why. I just like going to see it. But I mean, we all know about the Dayglows, and we know about No Means No and bands like that. But like there was bands like there's a band called the Neos that a lot of people think were really the first speed metal band. And they were these really young guys out of Victoria. Never made it in any way big or anything like that, but they're featured in the film as well.
Well, Damien, what's his face from Effed Up at Thinklandia?
Yeah,
he was talking about the history of punk rock before we think punk rock started,
Right.
and he brought that band up from here in Victoria.
There you go. The
Yeah.
Neos, yeah. They're really, really hard and really fast. But yeah. I can't wait to see it, man. It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be great. So keep your eye open for it, and congratulations to Paulina for like just putting her shoulder to the wheel and working on a passion project.
Yeah.
That's gonna open some eyes here in Victoria. So I can't wait to see it.
Totally.
Okay, so now will the trailer be on the B-Side website?
Yeah, we'll put the trailer on the B-Side website. We'll put a link to the Facebook page as well so people can find it. They can start following it. So as soon as she's got more information, she can share it.
Fantastic. Dan Gunn, thanks so much.
Thanks, Dan.
Guys.